Good afternoon, students. This is K. Srikanth, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, ISL Engineering College. Now here I am going to start with a subject called AWP, Antennas and Wave Propagations. So in this subject we deal with how an antenna is going to radiate a EM wave into the electromagnetic region or free space. Now before we normally deal with the antennas and wave propagation, let us try to go with the basics of the antennas and wave propagation. Now in this session I will try to go with the basics which we have in the various units that what we have, unit number 1, 2 to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I will just go with the basics of all the units in this particular slide. From next class onwards we will straight away enter into the unit 1. So we are actually going to start with a subject now itself. Okay, now as far as the some formulas, equations are concerned, we go with the next class. Okay, now let us go with the subject now. So in this we are just going to give you certain basics regarding the general block diagram of a wireless communication system. In the antennas and wave propagation we deal with the wireless communication system. That is why I wanted to just cover certain things on the antennas and wave propagation general block diagram of a wireless communication system. So after we go with the wireless communication system, what is that which is very important for us? It is the transmitting and receiving antenna. So transmitting antenna is going to radiate an EM waves, receiving antenna is going to receive the EM waves. So that is why I am going to cover you about the basics of what is EM waves, and after we deal with the basics of the EM waves, then what is basically an antenna, what is the definition of an antenna, then after definition of antenna I just wanted to cover you the various mediums that we normally going to transmit the EM wave. Then after that I go with the characteristics of an antenna and properties of an antenna, types of antenna, applications of an antenna and types of wave propagations in the free space, right. So these are the topics which we are going to cover. We will try to cover at least up to medium of EM wave transmissions, and coming to characteristics of an antenna, properties, we will try to see in the next session. Okay, so let us start with the basic communication block diagram. See the block diagram now. What is this block diagram contains? This block diagram contains basically what is most important for us. We are here, we are dealing with a antenna here, transmitting antenna or receiving antenna. So we are dealing with antenna, but what is the source of signal for the antenna? The source of signal is going to be the information signal. Say the information signal is going to be a voice signal or a sound signal. Then what is the general block diagram of the entire communication system? The general block diagram already we know from the analog communication subject. So same block diagram we have studied in the analog communication subject also, right. Now here in this block diagram, what is that which is most concerned to us? It is the antenna which is really most concerned to us, but still we should know where we are and what we are doing. That is why I just wanted to go with the block diagram. Okay, now here this information signal has to be transmitted to the receiver. So for this what I am doing, the information is converted into an electrical signal. The information signal is converted, see this, the information signal, this sound waves is known as information signal. These sound waves are converted to electrical signal by microphone, and after this converted to the electrical signals, it is been transmitted, it is been given to a radio transmitter. Now what is the heart of the transmitter? It is a modulator. So based on the type of the modulation involved, this transmitter is going to modulate the signal, and in this example I have taken a AM modulator circuit. Okay, so the carrier signal amplitude is varying with respect to the message signal. So the transmitter is going to simply change the frequency spectrum or translate the low frequency signal into a high frequency signal. So after translation into some of the modulation, say here I am shown AM modulation, and this particular signal is given to a antenna feeder network that I have not shown here. So there will be a antenna feeder network in between the antenna and the output of the transmitter circuit. So this feeder, this information is given to the feeder, and feeder is normally going to convert this once again AM signal into a form which is suitable for antenna to transmit. Then what the antenna will do? Antenna is going to radiate the electromagnetic signal, and this electromagnetic signal is going to propagate in the free space to the receiving antenna. Receiving antenna will receive the EM waves, and the receiving antenna is going to convert these EM waves into electrical waves, electrical signals. This electrical signal we are going to get. That means whatever we have transmitted here, electrical signal from the output of transmitter is going to get received before the input of the receiver. Then what the receiver will do? Receiver is going to reconstruct the original signal from the received EM signal. Then this is given to the loudspeaker. That means that is given to the human being. So this is what the process of the entire radio communication or a wireless communication, which is known as a general block diagram of a wireless communication system. And how this antenna is going to radiate now? Usually we normally transmit the current, time varying current. We normally allow a time varying current to flow through the antenna. Because of the time varying current, magnetic field is going to get induced in the antenna, and because of electric and magnetic field, the EM waves are going to get generated. Okay, so this is what the basic concept which we take from the Maxwell's equations. So Maxwell's has given us two equations. One is based on the Faraday's law, another one is based on the Ampere's law. So what the Faraday's law is going to speak about? Faraday's law is going to speak about the time varying magnetic field is going to produce electric field, and Ampere's law is going to speak about a time varying electric field is going to produce a magnetic field. So that is what the equations we have, which we will see in the due course of the time. So this is what general block diagram, where we are interested in transmitting a EM wave by a transmitting antenna, and also we are interested in receiving the EM wave by the receiving antenna. Okay, same antenna can be used both for transmission purpose as well as the reception purpose. Okay, now this is the general block diagram which we can have. As I said, we are using AM modulator. So there is a carrier signal. This carrier is modulated with the modulating signal, and the frequency translation is going to take place by the frequency multiplier. Then after that, it is given to the power amplifier. The power level of the signal is being increased based on the type of the modulation we have, and we apply it to the antenna, and antenna is now normally going to radiate this signal into the electromagnetic spectrum. So this is something like a water waves. So the radio waves or EM waves are going to propagate like a water waves. What is the meaning of water waves? If you throw a stone on a steady water, then after you throw a stone on a steady water, because of water waves, you can observe clearly water waves, how the water waves are going to spread from the origin of the stone. The water waves are going to expand continuously. Okay, like that the waves, EM waves, are going to propagate in the free space or an atmosphere, and these waves are going to propagate in the atmosphere, and there will be receiving antenna which is going to receive the same signal. Okay, next is receiving antenna is going to be applied to a RF amplifier which is called radio frequency amplifier. You are going to have a multiple stages of radio frequency amplifiers to get the actual tuned frequency. Then next you are going to have a mixer. Now we are going to mix this electrical signal. This antenna is going to convert EM wave into electrical wave. Electrical wave is given to the RF amplifier. That means antenna is doing two important activities. What is that? It is first of all acting like a transducer. Sorry, what is a transducer? Transducer is a device which is normally going to convert one form of energy into another form of energy. Now the input to the antenna is electrical signal, output to the antenna is going to be EM signal. Means what? The antenna is simply converting an electrical wave into a EM wave. Similarly here in the receiving side, an antenna is converting EM wave into a electrical wave. What is EM wave? EM wave is spatial domain, whereas electrical signal is time domain signal. So that means the antenna is going to convert signal from one domain into another domain. So therefore it is going to act like a transducer. And also impedance matching, the output impedance of the antenna should be equal to the input impedance of the receiving antenna. The transmitting antenna output impedance should be equal to the input impedance of the receiving antenna. If it is so, then only the maximum power is going to get transferred from transmitting antenna into the receiving antenna. So therefore, that means in that sense we can as well say the antenna is also going to act like a impedance matching device. So these two are the immediate definitions we can give for antenna. So antenna can be defined as a transducer, antenna can be defined as an impedance matching device, and antenna is normally going to transmit and receive the EM radiations or EM waves. So this is what the basic definition of an antenna which we can normally give it over here. So in the receiver side, what is that you are going to have? Antenna is going to convert EM waves into electrical signals. Electrical signals are applied to the electronic circuit. Electronic circuit is going to process the electrical signals and it is given to the mixer to get the IF frequency signals. IF means what? Intermediate frequency signals, and those frequencies are demodulated by demodulator and it is been amplified by AF amplifier before it is given to the speaker, and from the speaker it is given to the actual user. So this is what the block diagram of AM transmitter and receiver which we have simply speak about. That means this AM transmitter is normally going to be there here, AM receiver is normally going to be there in the radio receiver. Okay, so this is what we have. Next, let us look into the EM waves. What is EM wave actually? EM waves are the one which we are actually transmitting. So what are the EM waves? EM waves are known as, are defined as electromagnetic waves. Okay, are defined as electromagnetic waves are the waves that propagate with the simultaneous radiations of variation with the simultaneous periodic variations of electric and magnetic fields. So the EM field called as electromagnetic field is a child of electric and magnetic fields. So what is the father of the EM field? Who are the parents of EM field? Electric field and magnetic field. So both has to be there to get a EM wave. So EM wave is the child, whereas electric and magnetic fields are known as the parents. So in order to generate EM wave, compulsorily we need electric field, varying electric field, and also varying magnetic field intensities. If these two are changing continuously, then definitely we normally going to get EM waves. And that include, EM waves include, what are the waves? It's going to include radio waves whose frequencies are going to range in the range of megahertz and gigahertz, infrared rays, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays and gamma rays. So next, another definition I can give it for microwaves. So EM waves are defined as a wave that travels at a speed of light and consists of a combined electric and magnetic field effects. So EM waves are normally going to travel at a speed of light, and as I said, it consists of a combined electric and magnetic field effects. So what is the effect of combined effect of electric and magnetic field? An EM field. So EM field is always going to propagate perpendicular to the plane of E and H fields that we discuss in the future classes. So EM waves propagates in a direction perpendicular to the plane of the E and H fields. So these concepts we are normally going to take from EMTL subject. So already EMTL has been done. Due to EMTL, I hope or I suppose you know Maxwell's equations. Okay, anyway, we discuss over here over the Maxwell's equations also in this class. Right. Now, what is the definition of an antenna? An antenna can be defined as an aerial, or maybe antenna or an aerial. Aerial means what? It's simply a wire, a simple single monopole wire. A single wire is known as an aerial. So an antenna and an aerial may be defined as a transducer, just now I was talking about, and an impedance matching device, radiator or a sensor of a EM wave. So antenna at the receiver is going to act like a sensor, EM wave sensors. Antenna at the transmitter side is going to act like a EM wave radiator. So therefore I can define antenna or an aerial may be defined as a transducer, impedance matching device, radiator or a sensor element. Then next, it can be considered as a source of EM wave radiations. See, who has to generate EM waves? It is the antenna. Antenna has to generate the EM waves. So that is why I can call this antenna as a source of EM wave radiations, where EM waves are specified in terms of wavelength. This is very important point. The EM waves are going to get specified in terms of wavelength rather than frequency. Why it is going to be like? Since the EM waves after detachment from the antenna are defined, are confined to the spatial domain. So once after the EM waves comes after the antenna, they have to propagate in the free space without any source. Without any source it has to propagate. In the which medium? in the free space medium. Now what is the coordinates that you are going to have? There are no coordinates, therefore we go with a spatial domain. Maybe we consider a rectangular coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, rectangular or Cartesian both are same. We consider rectangular coordinate system or Cartesian coordinate system, we consider a cylindrical coordinate system, or we may consider a spherical coordinate system when the wave is propagating in a particular medium under free space conditions. So therefore the wave is normally going to transmit in a spatial domain. So therefore this is very important. Since the wave is transmitting in a spatial domain, we have to represent that wave in terms of a wavelength rather than in terms of a frequency. We define a signal in terms of frequency when it is electrical in nature. When the wave is EM wave in nature, then we define or we describe that wave in terms of its wavelength. So wavelength, that is why it is very, very important point. What is wavelength? Wavelength is known as the distance travelled by a wave. Distance travelled by a wave between either two crests or two troughs of a wave, or two maximas between two minimas. The distance travelled by the wave is known as the wavelength for us. Okay, is known as wavelength for us. Then next, what is the medium of EM waves? We are going to basically altogether put together four mediums we have. One medium is going to be free space. In free space, now how do we define the medium? We define the medium with three medium constants. What are the medium constants we have? Sigma, mu and epsilon. So what is sigma? Sigma is known as conductivity, whereas mu is known as permeability, epsilon is known as permittivity. So these are the medium constants. Sigma, mu and epsilon are known as the medium constants. Now based on the values of the medium constants, we normally define the types of the mediums. So if sigma is equal to 0 and mu and epsilon, both of them are going to be equal to the free space values, mu naught and epsilon naught, then we simply call it as a free space. Then next one is going to be lossless dielectric medium. In the case of lossless dielectric medium also, the conductivity value is going to be 0 because there is no losses in the medium. So conductivity value is going to be 0, and epsilon and mu are represented by mu naught mu r, epsilon naught epsilon r. What is epsilon r and mu r? They are simply going to be called as a relative permeability and relative permittivity of the mediums. And here for a lossless dielectric, the sigma value will be very, very less than omega epsilon. So this is what the conditions for a lossless dielectric. Now usual case is going to be a lossy dielectric mediums. Usually we are always going to have a lossy dielectric mediums where the conductivity is not equal to 0. It will be more than definitely 0. And epsilon and mu are going to be same as the lossless dielectric. Coming to good conductor means what? The conductivity value is going to be very high, huge. That therefore the conductivity leads to infinity, where sigma and epsilon are going to be same as the previous mediums. And since the conductivity is very large, so this conductivity value should be very, very greater than the omega and omega into epsilon. Where lossy dielectric medium is the more general case, we normally going to consider in our problems. Okay. Then next, what are the various characteristics of an antenna? So antenna is going to exhibit or is going to have certain characteristics. Based on the types of characteristics only, we decide where we normally use this particular antenna. See, why we normally concentrate on the characteristics of an antenna? So we bother about, say for example, we studied about the characteristics of a PN junction diode. We studied about characteristics of a transistor. Now why we have studied the characteristics? To know the behavior of the particular device, right? We are normally going to understand the characteristics of the device. So when we talk about a transistor, because of characteristics, we came to know that transistor is going to operate in three regions. One is going to be cutoff region, active region and saturation region, right? Similarly, diode is going to operate in the ohmic region, cutoff region and saturation region. So like that, we try to understand the behavior of a certain device or a circuit or an element with the help of its characteristics. Therefore, we normally deal with the characteristics. So basically, and what is an antenna? Once again I am defining an antenna. An antenna is a device designed to radiate or receive an EM waves in a prescribed manner. So why we design an antenna? The purpose of antenna is only to radiate and to receive in a prescribed manner. That is what the main purpose of the antenna. So while traveling, EM waves are assumed. EM waves assume wave properties and are radiated outwards from the source. So while the EM waves are traveling in the free space, they are going to assume the wave properties. What are the wave properties? A wave is going to have diffraction, reflection, refraction properties. So all those properties are going to hold good for the EM waves as well while they are traveling in the free space. Then antennas are characterized by a number of performance measures which helps in designing an antenna for a particular application. This is what I was talking to you. So here, why we have to study characteristics? So antennas are characterized by a number of performance measures. So here we normally going to get the various performance measures of an antenna. With the performance measures of antenna, we decide where we are going to use this type of antenna. So this is what we study here in this class. Next class we deal with the actual characteristics of an antenna and